A. Expand and simplify x plus 7 multiplied by x minus 3. To expand the bracket, we must multiply each term in the first bracket to each term in the second bracket. To simplify, we combine like terms. In this case, the only like term is minus 3x and plus 7x, which combines to give 4x. B. Factorize completely. 15p squared q squared minus 25q cubed. To factorize this expression, since it's not a quadratic, we will factorize by taking out the common factors between the two terms. If we write out all the factors of the two terms, we can see that the common factors they have are a 5 and 2 q's. This means that we can take 5 and 2 q's out from these two terms, or take 5q squared from the two terms, and what's left will be left behind in the bracket. When you factorize something, you are just rewriting the expression. The value is still the same. Therefore, if you expand the brackets over here, you should still get what you started with, and that's how we can check our answers. Factorize completely 4fg plus 6gh plus 10fk plus 15hk. Again, this is not a quadratic, so we will be factorizing by taking out the common factors the terms have. When there are 4 terms, we will do them in pairs. When we write out all the factors of all the terms, we can see that from the first 2 terms, they have 2 and g in common. This means that we can take 2g outside the bracket, and what's left inside the bracket is the remaining terms, which is 2f plus 3h. For the last 2 terms, they have 5 and k in common. So we can take 5k outside the bracket, and the remaining terms will remain in the bracket. The remaining terms are 2f plus 3h. So now we have 2 terms left in our expression. And notice that the brackets that the 2 terms have are the same. They both have 2f plus 3h. This means that we can take 2f plus 3h outside the bracket just like we did with the other common factors, and what's left would be 2g plus 5k. To check our answers for these factorized questions, all you need to do is expand the brackets and see if you get the same thing that you started with. Factorize completely 81k squared minus m squared. This expression is not a quadratic, and they do not have any common factors between the 2 terms. But we have a rule that says that x squared minus y squared will factorize to give x plus y multiplied by x minus y, and this is the rule that we can use to factorize this. So in this case, if our x squared is equal to 81k squared, then our x is equal to 9k. And if our y squared is equal to m squared, then our y is equal to m, and we can use this rule where our x equals 9k and our y equals m, so we can factorize this into 9k plus m multiplied by 9k minus m. Again, we can check our answers by expanding the brackets and seeing if we get what we started with. C. Solve the equation 3x minus 4 plus x plus 2 divided by 5 equals 6. We can solve the equation by finding the value of x, and we can find the value of x by making x the subject of the formula. It's a lot easier to work without fractions, so we can get rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by the denominator, which is 5. To make x the subject of the formula, we need 1x on its own on one side. So the next approach is to expand the brackets and trying to combine the two x's together. Now we have a term with an x and a term without an x on one side. So we can remove the term without an x by adding 58 to both sides. And now we have 16x equals 88, and we can remove the 16 from the x by dividing both sides by 16. To check our answer for this question, all we need to do is substitute our value of x back into the expression and seeing whether it works.